You're watching Fugitive Red-Eye, and welcome to another recut of old content. Specifically, this time some content from Gen 2, and 3 a little bit, my Bootlegs series. Haven't done an episode of this in a while, I actually plan on doing another one soon, but it's where we take a look at my friend, Bootman Bill's bootleg collection. Now, obviously with this video, I always put a disclaimer, I'm going to trim it out of these, so I obviously am not condoning piracy or bootlegging or any of that, because that would be naughty. This is for entertainment purposes only, or entertainment porpoises only. So if you're not an entertainment porpoise, get the fuck out. Let's jump in. Now, today we will be talking about bootlegs, and these were graciously lended, is that the word?
Lent,
that's it. Lent to me by a good friend of mine who wishes to remain
Come on,
anonymous.
you're an English major.
Shh. That is true. But he wishes to remain anonymous, so we will simply refer to him as Bootman Bill. And I'm sure if anyone's watching this that...
Someone watching this.
Someone will get it eventually, depending on, how many people watch it. But Bootman Bill, he let me borrow this first. He's going to let me borrow a bunch of his bootlegs because I'm an avid DVD collector, and he is an avid bootleg collector of all kinds for some reason. I don't know. It's a thing. I prefer nicer releases, but I also like shitty releases, so these are nice. And this is a show that never got an official DVD release, although it did have some episodes, or actually it is all available on iTunes and the Xbox Store, and I actually have a few episodes on the Xbox Store, so I would support this show. And if this had an official DVD release, I would go out and buy it. And that is Megas XLR. Probably Cartoon Network's best show in my opinion, and it was canceled and written off as a tax write-off because it was unsuccessful at selling toys. I don't know what the hell is wrong with Cartoon Network. They suck. They really do. And we'll test this bad boy out.
We don't have editing software, so this is what you're gonna get.
Yeah, see? Nice little menu here. Some of his bootlegs don't have menus. And did we show him the case that it came in? This nice little sleeve right here?
Yes, it was shown.
Okay.
That people could see it.
That's all he had was a nice little sleeve there with the discs in it. But he does have some of them that have nicer cases. It's just, this is one of her shittier cases, but for a great show. And, I myself have also watched this series multiple times, as has he, so, Bootman Bill, thank you so much for letting me borrow this. And thank you, if anyone watched this, leave a comment about good stuff and whatnot. Yeah. You're watching Finger Her Dry, and this is my new bootlegs video. And this is, again, comes from my friend Bootman Bill because he prefers to remain anonymous. And today's thing is a slightly higher quality bootleg than the Megas one, because it actually has a case design. It's Conspiracy Theory with Jesse Ventura. But by looking at it, you can tell it's an obvious bootleg. For starters, it just has a picture of him on the front, no text of any sort. The sides do say Conspiracy Theory, but in really shitty lettering. I don't know if you can tell how shitty they are through the camera, but pretty bad. On the back, just a list of episodes, no copyrights or anything, so pretty obvious. The case is also made out of a really thin plastic. And when you look at the discs, you can tell how bootleggy they are. This is paper over the disc. It's glued on there. When he got this, actually, it came with these descriptions of the episodes, just on the paper that came in the case. Let's see how they play. Now, as you can see, they do have a menu here that's just a plain listing of the episodes. If you play them, they play just like normal. You want to hand me the DVD remote? Up there? Ow! But you just hit play, and it takes a minute to go into it, and it fades out like that. And then it goes into the episode, after all these logos of sorts. But yeah.
Hidden power, secrets, cover-ups, corruption.
Anyway, and as you can see, it does come with 4 discs, all with similar designs, each just numbered, except for the 4th disc, which is a different design. There were 3 seasons of this show. It was canceled during the 3rd season and only aired 7 episodes, with a lost TSA episode that was never aired and isn't on this set. yeah, that's pretty much all there really is to say about this set. There's not much else to it. All the discs are very similar, just with different episodes. The series itself is entertaining to a point, and they do get some facts out there, but it really seems like a drama with the way they stage things in it. It can be pretty ridiculous. For instance, there's one episode where they just emphasize the shit out of Jesse Ventura's car because it's a Charger and he wanted to fucking show off. But it was an enjoyable show. And when I started this channel, I was really, really into conspiracy theories, so I love the shit out of this show. That's it. This has been Finger Her Dry, and enjoy. And that's actually Fugitive Red Eye, but from now on, I'm Finger Her Dry. At least for this video.
Rate
Rate? Rate the show or the DVD?
this video.
This video? 10 out of 10. Every Fugitive Red Eye video is 10 out of 10. Vid Eye Radio, yes. Now I'm going to show how this one plays in comparison to the tutorial, the other one. As you can see, my set's nowhere near as neat with the menus as Bootman Bill's, and mine were recorded off of YouTube, actually. You can see the YouTube things in the bottom.
Hidden power, secrets,
And in the top.
cover-ups, corruption.
And there's like a border around it.
You think you know the whole story? Think again.
Thanks for watching. You know, this is for entertainment purposes only, so if you're not an entertainment purpose, get the hell out of here. So first off, we're going to start out with an official release. This is not a bootleg, this one here. This is the official Season 2 release of Ed, Edd n Eddy, just to kind of compare the bootleg to the official release. Now, Ed, Edd n Eddy, they've only released the first 2 seasons on DVD. The other 4 have not been released officially on DVD. So as you can see, that's kind of how the discs look on the real one and the case and all that. And on the spine. Now for the bootleg, Season 4. Again, Season 4 has never been officially released on DVD. But this is a much higher quality bootleg than the others we've shown on this series so far. In fact, it's probably the highest quality one we'll ever show. At least I think. I don't know, Bootman Bill might surprise us, but he has quite the collection. So you can see it looks pretty much very similar to the official release, with a few minor differences, such as that being a different language, which I honestly couldn't tell you what language, but yeah. Inside of the case is a little bit different, but you know, you could easily believe this being an official release, because it looks like one. Now, let's see how it works. So as you can see, the menu... it only flashes by for a second, but it says, like, play movie and stuff like that. It was actually playing the Ed, Edd n Eddy theme song on there, but I have the TV muted because I don't need a copyright strike right now, so, you know. I don't know what language that is, but they try to make it look as official as possible. Like, this actually could easily pass for, like a legitimate import, but it's not. It's a bootleg. I mean, as you see, it says the DVD credits there, rather than actually showing the DVD. It has some issues. Sometimes you need to fiddle with it to make it work. The feature will begin in 10 seconds with Thai audio. That's something interesting. So this is from Thailand, of course, so at least that's what I would imagine from there. So as you can see, that's the menu. One moment here, let's see. Okay, so now it's starting the episode. But yeah, that's pretty much what it is. I'm obviously not going to show the whole episode because I really don't need a copyright strike. And yeah, this has been Bootlegs. This time we've gone down in quality quite a bit. It's Daddy Day Camp, shitty movie, and a shitty bootleg. The back of the case is covered with things from Daddy Daycare, which was a pretty decent movie. I enjoyed it when it first came out. But Daddy Day Camp, on the other hand, is probably the worst sequel to anything I've ever seen. As you can see, the case is a little bit damaged. He's had this one for a while. The case itself looks, you know, has the case design, but all of the information here is for Daddy Daycare rather than Daddy Day Camp. Even the description here. As you can see, it's just kind of poorly labeled there on the actual disc. So, let's take a quick look at Daddy Day Camp. Let's see how it plays. Again, I'm going to mute the TV so that I don't get any copyright strikes, and I'm only going to show a brief moment of it just to show how it plays. As you can see, it doesn't have a menu. It just goes straight into the movie. Really low quality. If I'm not mistaken, this one was one of the shaky ones that they kind of just hold up in a theater. You know, they just hold up a camera. A form of piracy which I think is kind of ironic. It's kind of funny that it could still even possibly be around because, I mean, you'd think they'd catch them on things like that. It's probably the stupidest form of piracy as well. If you want to buy that movie, buy a good copy that's not shite. But that's a bad movie, so it's not possible to get a version of it that's not shite. Thank you. But today, this is actually one that I have myself because I bought it thinking it was a real copy. Because I bought it at FYE, which is a retailer. I bought it used, but it was the only copy they had of this movie anyway. Now, I was originally going to do this as a crossover episode with cult films, and I was going to do part of it with this and part of it with gameplay. Very, very early on, actually, with the channel. I've actually had this sitting around for quite a while, waiting to do the video, and then I just decided, fuck it, I'm doing it anyway. You can consider this video somewhat educational, too, because I'm going to show you how to tell that this is indeed a bootleg. It's very obvious, actually, because there's one big major fault it has when you're watching it, which I'll go over in a moment. Now here it says Digital Multimedia Limited. That's the first company it says right there. Which sounds like it could be real, but at the same time also sounds kind of fake. Now here we have a review. 3 stars from Video Movie Guide. Again, I have no idea if that's real, but to me it sounds kind of fake. Now, one thing that's a dead giveaway, if you look on the back, there's no copyright, if you can see that. I don't know how visible it is. Not to mention, it says that it's rated R, and then it says not rated. It's very contradictory. And, of course, you got the misspelling on the word directed. Let's see if I can get that in view. It says directed without the I. See right there. There's the disc itself, which a lot of the times when discs have those numbers on it, so visibly, it's definitely a bootleg, usually. Not to mention this case feels like extremely cheap plastic. Now here's something that makes it look more legitimate. I don't know if you can see it, but those little, on this little center part of the disc, it actually says Death Race engraved into the little circle part here. So that makes it look more legit, but I can assure you that it is not from how the disc works. Now, it does have the FBI warning on the disc, so there's another thing that makes it look at least somewhat legitimate. And again, they have this menu little thing come up too. You know, a lot of bootlegs don't go through this much effort. There's the title card, and from the looks of it, it looks like it might just be starting the movie. That's odd. I didn't know it could autoplay like that. Again, that's not something that it would normally do either. So I've hit the title menu button. Now look at how terrible this menu looks. As you can see, these menus look like they were made in, like, PowerPoint. So now I'm going to go to the chapter menu. Very, very simplistic chapter menu. Again, looks very cheaply made. Another thing I do want to mention is the big flaw with this movie. If you try to watch the movie, it actually will not work. It will play each chapter, and then you have to select the next chapter once that chapter is ended. It doesn't just play straight through. You know, a very bad design choice, and is clearly one thing that points to it being a bootleg. That about wraps it up for this episode of Bootlegs. Death Race 2000 itself is a pretty fun movie to watch, but I do recommend you buy an official copy, because this bootleg is absolute shite. I can't believe that this was sold to me in an actual store. Usually they do quality testing and things like that, but this slipped past them. So today, since Christmas is coming up, my friend Bootman Bill has lent me the Star Wars Holiday Special. Other than the cover art, which is just a printed image, as you can see, there is nothing on the disc. But let's take a look at the menu. As you can see, it's a very minimalistic menu. It's got title, VCR, SP, and empty title. I think empty title is literally nothing. Let's see. Yeah, it's nothing. And this one is the movie itself, as well as some commercials. As you can see, it's really shit quality, because this has never been released officially and was only ever shown once. But yeah, it's something. I recommend seeing this if you haven't. It's something else, for sure. It's definitely something else. I honestly, personally think it's so bad it's good, and I feel like I'm the only one who thinks that. See if I can get some of the better bits.
Beat, stir, whip, beat, stir. That's not right. I'm sorry. Stir, whip, whip, stir, beat, stir, whip, stir, beat. Starting to have a fine aroma. But yeah,
It's something. That's really all I can say about it, is it's something. Here's Chewbacca's dad getting horny from this chick. See if you can see him. She's like, oh, I'm your fantasy, and he's like, oh. Just look at the low production quality on these scenes. I mean, you can't really see it that well because I'm holding it up to the TV and it's already shit quality, but... Today we have one of the more comical bootlegs because it doesn't look too bad, but it does have a lot of things that are completely inaccurate. First thing I do want to point out is, as you can see along the side here, the case does not fit the paper. The paper is slightly too small. As you can see on the top here, it says DTS Digital Surround Sound Widescreen Version. I've only ever seen this on bargain DVDs such as Mill Creek and Oak Bridge. Disney has never had this sort of thing on here, and this is Disney's Treasure Planet, as you can see. So that's kind of the first giveaway to let you know, other than the case not fitting. Plus it has this DVD-9 little hologram, which is almost always only on bootlegs. And here's the description on the back of the case. As you can see, it actually is accurate. It does tell the actual correct stuff that it should for Treasure Planet. A lot of this is pretty accurate too. It doesn't actually have some of the features it claims here, ironically. All of these different subtitles, it does not have. Again, all the audio doesn't have all of that either, so I think that's kind of funny. Other than that, here's probably my favorite bit. It's rated R according to this. As you can see, they claim Treasure Planet is rated R for strong, pervasive violence, brief language, and a scene of sexuality content. Not sexual content, but sexuality content. Totally different. The disc itself doesn't look too bad other than the DTS thing. You look on the back, it looks pretty normal. They got this little protective sleeve in it. Now let's pop it in, I'll show you. This is actually just a straight up rip of the actual release of Treasure Planet. It's literally the exact same DVD as the real one. They just ripped it and put it on a disc and then slapped a bunch of artwork on it. As you can see, there's the FBI warning and everything. The same copyright stuff, so it has all the stuff it's supposed to. But yeah, it's literally just the real release of Treasure Planet. It has the same menu and everything, so... The actual movie itself is, you know, just as it's supposed to be, same quality and everything. Unfortunately, it's not an extreme R-rated cut, which disappoints me a bit, but, you know. As you can see, today we're doing Devilman Crybaby, the Malaysian bootleg. I gotta say, though, he has a lot of these Malaysian bootlegs, and this one is different than most of them. It's got one of those thin dollar store movie kind of cases that you used to see all the time at the dollar store, instead of the cases they usually have for those bootlegs. As you can see on the back here, they slapped on what is very clearly some fan art and not officially from the show itself. And as always, there's an extra space for a disc. For whatever reason, these Malaysian bootlegs always have extra spaces for discs. But there's the disc itself. Let's take a look at the menu. Alright, there's the menu. As you can see, it's pretty minimalistic, but it looks okay. For the setup, we have Japanese or English audio, and then we have Chinese or English subtitles. Surprised they don't have the Malay subtitles like they usually do. Here's the episode selection menu. I do like how each menu has a different song. They don't usually go that far. Let's check the quality of the actual episodes. It's about average DVD quality, so it's not bad. Anyway, Devilman Crybaby, if you don't know, is a Netflix original Devilman series. Although I do know most people know that. Today's episode is going to be a little bit different in that we're going to be comparing a bootleg to the official release. Not only that, but I'll be comparing it to two separate official releases. So as the title of this video implies, this is the Devilman OVA collection. We're going to start with the bootleg. Now, as you can see, the words Devilman are completely in Japanese, but then it says OVA collection in English. If I'm not mistaken, this artwork specifically, including the picture and the wording, is taken from a Japanese release of this. I don't know whether it was a Laserdisc, a DVD, or a VHS, but it was one of the three. There's the spine with a picture of Akira from the manga, which I thought was kind of a cool touch. And then again, this is just me guessing, but I'm pretty sure the back of this case is taken from a US VHS release, so that's why it looks really convincing. It even has the copyright and everything down here in the corner. It's a little hard to make out on camera, but there it is. And there's the individual discs. As you can see, it just says Devilman and then 1, Devilman and then 2 with the same artwork. These discs look pretty good too. They feel a little bit weird when you rub the top, kind of coarse and rough. And when you check the bottom, they're actually a Blu-ray R. It's a little bit hard to make out, but that's kind of got a blacker color than a regular Blu-ray does on the back. Both of them are like this, and it's only one episode per disc, which is very odd for a Blu-ray. One thing I do want to mention before moving on to the next one is that this one only has the original Japanese language with English subtitles, and the subtitles themselves are the UK translation. And the way you can tell that is the spelling uses the UK spelling. So, like, instead of saying M-O-M for mom, like we do in English here, they have the M-U-M like they do in English there. And, like, other little things. The UK spelling, if you're familiar with UK English and American English, there are a few minor differences in spelling. Anyway, now on to the official Manga Entertainment DVD of Devilman, which was released in the US. This one actually only has the dub, whereas that one only had the sub. I believe there was a subbed release on VHS by Manga Entertainment, whereas this was the only DVD. This is actually incredibly rare and out of print. And in fact, I found this at FYE and I was super excited to find it. But yeah, there's the disc and the insert, and there's the inside of that insert, and the back of it. Now on to the newest release. This one actually just came out, and it was in my most recent DVD collection update. This is the Blu-ray of Devilman the OVAs released in the US by Discotech Media. As you can see, unlike the other two, this one has a slipcase, and it has a lot more information on it. Both episodes are contained on one disc on both this and the original DVD release. However, this one does not come with any inserts. And now to compare the menus. This is the bootleg. As you can see, this one will actually not have a menu. It will just jump right into the actual OVA. See, it just jumps right into the episode. The quality is actually pretty damn decent, actually. It's much better than you'd expect from a bootleg. I would even say it's up to Blu-ray quality. I'd say it's at least 720, if not 1080. It looks actually really beautiful, but to be fair, that could be because I'm watching it on a 4K TV. But it looks great. For a bootleg, it looks fine. Alright, now we're on to disc 2 of the bootleg, just to show that it kind of does the same thing. Again, the quality's kind of hard to make out because I'm just kind of holding this up to the TV, and my camera quality itself is kind of hit or miss. But as you can see, much like the first episode, this one just jumps right into it with no menu. And as you can see, it has the title down there, Devilman Siren, the Demon Bird. This spells Siren with the English spelling S-I-R-E-N, instead of the S-I-R-E-N-E, which would be Siren, or Siren, or Shiren, which there's lots of ways to both pronounce and spell her name. It's kind of fucking hard to keep track of it. Alright, now we have the Manga Entertainment release, which, like I said, is rare and out of print. There's the Manga Entertainment logo, and then here's the menu with an actual intro for the menu itself. Yep. And as you can see, it has the episodes, The Birth, The Demon Bird, and then it has the scene selection and special features. So then, as you can see, these are the special features. They got a Gonagai bio. As you can see, they got this whole biography of him. I'm not going to read the whole thing because that would take forever. Here we have Manga 2000. Not entirely sure what that is, honestly. There we go. It's a trailer for all their stuff they had in the year 2000.
Holy shit.
It's a 4-minute trailer, so I'm not going to play the whole thing of that either. And there's a photo gallery, which we'll probably have to have some of them cut out because Siren, but it's a little bit hard to make out some of these photos. There we go, that got it. I just had to focus it. I like that one. That's not in the fucking OVA. That's good.
Angela, did you see the new thing on the wall? The word burning wall?
Oh, cool. So that stand was there, huh? Now, most of these are from the OVA itself. Let's see, this is a minute and a half. So again, I'm not going to show the whole photo gallery either because I'm pretty sure they'll show Siren as well. And there's a trailer for Devilman.
The demons of hell have risen to overtake.
Oh my god.
Modern weapons are no match.
That's supposed to be... Isn't Siren Screech more of like a bird sound?
Pure at heart can possess the body of a demon. Akira Fudo is chosen to become Devilman. But will his power even be enough for the deadly serum? Devilman is anime that will grab your soul.
And there's a manga web link. What does that actually do on here? Nothing? Just shows the... Ooh, that is a fucking throwback. Some fucking Windows 98 shit. There's a fan club trailer. How bad is this gonna be?
Oh, it's gonna be terrible.
Ghost in the Shell. So it's probably just going to be a stuff for, like, Manga Entertainment's fan club. Yeah. So it's just showing the stuff they have again. It's also 4 minutes, so I'm not going to watch that whole thing. The manga video DVD. I don't even know what that means. Oh, it's different trailers. You can pick and choose which trailer you want to watch out of all the trailers. So they got a trailer for Perfect Blue, which is fantastic. That's the only one of these things that I've actually seen. Alright, so that's it for the manga entertainment release. Alright, now we're on to the discotheque release, so let's see how that is.
My nose itches!
That is relevant to the video.
It's very relevant.
This one has the whole FBI warning, which I'm surprised the other one didn't, because that is the official release. Oh boy, hopefully her tits are not easy to make. Okay, so my fucking thing stopped recording because something popped up on my phone, so... As you can see, the discotheque release actually contains the audio drama from the CD Legends of Devilman. This is that one, because this is the same audio track. So now, I can actually fucking listen to it with subtitles, instead of just trying to guess what it all says. Good audio drama, though. I definitely recommend. Anyway, so yeah, this is it. There's a manga video trailer. Is this the same trailer? This the same 4-minute trailer?
And it's broken.
Yep, it's the same trailer.
Demons of hell have
Oh, no, this is just the Devilman one, the 30... No, this is slightly longer. This is a completely different one.
only a demon can kill a demon.
A longer one. It's like both trailers in one. And now for the descriptions on the backs of each of the cases. So to start off with, I'll read the Bootlegs description. Who dares kill a demon? Go, Mazinger, Nagai's classic manga, becomes the ultimate anime horror. Ryo Asuka has lost his father in a shocking suicide. Ryo confides in Akira, his best friend. The terrible secret of this desperate act, a prehistoric carving discovered by Professor Asuka, reveals visions of the demon world, and with it, the chilling knowledge that an invasion draws near. The demons have slumbered for aeons, but now their powers grow strong. The demons can resist every earthly weapon, and must be challenged for the fate of the earth. Who dares to kill a demon must become a demon himself. But only one who is pure at heart can possess the body of a demon. Only one like Akira. Next up we have the descriptions for the manga entertainment release. The ultimate in demonic horror from the classic manga of Go Nagai. Volume 1, The Birth. Normal life in modern-day Tokyo is unexpectedly disrupted for a young high school kid called Akira. First his parents go missing, then his pet rabbit is viciously slaughtered. And finally, his best friend Ryo Asuka reveals a terrifying secret, something that guarantees that Akira's life can never be the same again. Ryo's dead archaeologist father left him a dark and sinister legacy, knowledge of which may only condemn Ryo in the same way he condemned his father, to an eternal sentence of suffering and torment. However, Ryo understands that his legacy also has the power to salvage the human race from torturous damnation at the hands of demons. But whoever kills a demon must become a demon, and only one who is pure of heart can possess the body of a demon. Only one like Akira. Volume 2, Demon Bird. Demons, once trapped in the glacial ice of Earth, have been unleashed on mankind after centuries of non-intervention. Only 2 men have the ability to stop them, the cool-headed Ryo and the fearless Akira, who, as Devilman, possesses the body and strength of a demon, but with the heart and soul of a human. In Demon Bird, Akira is confronted by more deadly horror as obscene and twisted creatures struggle to take control of the world. Miki, his girlfriend, is brutally attacked by the fiendish water demon Gelmar, whilst Devilman takes on Jinmin, who carries the tortured souls of his victims embedded in his gruesome shell. But the combination of human and demon makes Akira a formidable force, until he meets the vicious talons of Siren, the invincible demon bird. And finally, we get to the description on the back of the discotheque release. Based on the classic Go Nagai manga, demons, once trapped in the glacial ice of Earth, have been unleashed on mankind after centuries of non-intervention. These beasts are swiftly infiltrating our peaceful world in hordes. Only 2 young men have the ability to stop them, Ryo Asuka and his best friend Akira Fudo. But the only way to combat a demon is to become a demon. Only a young man with a pure heart can possess the powers of a demon. That young man is Akira Fudo. By gaining the powers of the brave demon warrior Ammon, Akira becomes humanity's only hope, Devilman. Fighting for humanity and satisfying his demonic urges, Akira battles demon after demon, from the grotesque Jinmin to the alluring harpy Siren. Can Akira and Ryo protect the future of humanity, or is this battle far greater than they have imagined? Based off the classic manga by artist Go Nagai, Mazinger Z, Cutie Honey, and directed by Tsutomu Lida, Mighty Space Miners, Hellsing, Devilman is a bone-chilling horror that will keep you on the edge of your seat. It includes the original Japanese language with English subtitles and the manga entertainment English dub. But yeah, those are the 3 releases. Today we're looking at the series Another, the Malaysian DVD release. As you can see, this contains episodes 1 through 12, as well as the OVA. The case itself is designed backwards, similarly to how a manga is But the thing is they don't actually do DVD cases like this anywhere that I actually know of officially, so this is just kind of odd. There's the actual disc itself. As far as the description on the back of the case, it says 25 years ago, in a third-year classroom of a middle school, there was a student named Misaki. As an honors student, who was also good at sports, the charming girl was popular with her classmates. When she suddenly died, her classmates decided to carry on as if she was still alive until graduation. Then in the spring of 1998, a boy named Sakakibara Koichi transfers to the class, and he grows suspicious of the fearful atmosphere in that classroom. In particular, there is a beautiful, aloof girl named Mei Misaki, who wears an eye patch and is always alone drawing pictures. Couple interesting things about that. They have the Japanese way that the name is arranged for Koichi. They have Sakakibara Koichi, but then when they get to Misaki, they say Mei Misaki instead of Misaki Mei, so they're not consistent with the naming conventions they're using. So obviously that's one sign this is a bootleg. Obviously, I know it's a bootleg because I'm very familiar with this bootleg release company. And anytime it says volume 1 through 12 end, that's just not good grammar at all. And there are a couple of issues with that description. It's fairly accurate, but there's a couple of mistakes in it. So there's a couple of mistakes there. Now let's have a look at the live-action movie, which a lot of people probably didn't even know existed. One other thing I neglected to mention is these are released by the same company called Lambian Film. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right, but this is a very well-known bootleg company in Malaysia. Anyway, there's the back of that case. There's the disc itself. Now on to the description on the back of the case. After a chain of deaths at a junior high school, new transfer student Koichi Sakakibara turns to a mysterious girl who holds the key to the dark mystery. In the spring of 1998, 15-year-old Koichi Sakakibara's father goes abroad, and Koichi Sakakibara goes to live with his aunt Reiko, who lives in a mountain region. Not long after he moves in with his aunt, he collapses from pneumothorax. I'm not entirely sure what pneumothorax is, but there you go. And becomes hospitalized. One day, at the elevator in the hospital, Koichi meets a pretty girl wearing a uniform and an eye patch. Koichi just stares at her. The pretty girl says something strange and then vanishes into the hospital mortuary. After being discharged from the hospital, Koichi goes to his new school. He finds the pretty girl, Mei Misaki, is also in his class. Koichi doesn't feel comfortable because all of his classmates, even his teacher, act like the girl doesn't exist. Let's take a look at the menus. So here's the menu for the anime. As you can see, it says Play Movie, which, again, it's not a movie, it's a series. The OVA and last episode on this disc actually don't work at all. I assume that's because it has disc rot, because it does have a little bit of disc rot on it, so there's that. All the other episodes do work, except episode 12 and the OVA do not work at all, which is unfortunate, but it is a bootleg, so there's no quality control on these things. And as you can see in the setup, they have Chinese, English, or Malay subtitles. They do not have an audio option because it just has the original Japanese dub. Now for the live-action movie, as you can see, it has play, trailers, spin-off. What's spin-off? There's making of, there's several making of parts, trailers, event footage, movie spot. There's actually a lot of bonus features on this for a bootleg. I'm actually impressed. Alright, so as far as that goes, that spin-off is 1 hour and 15 minutes, so it's a whole other movie. Well, that's interesting. Anyway, that's a lot of bonus features. That's pretty cool. But yeah, there's not as many options for like setup and stuff here, but all the bonus features I'd say definitely make up for that. Now this bootleg I've done before on the channel a couple of times actually. I did a video that was just a bootlegs episode about it, but I didn't go super into detail. And then I did a revisit of it for the 300 subscriber special, but today I'm going to be comparing it to the official release. So first off, here's a good look at the bootleg on the front of the case. As you can see, it says at the top, complete uncut 3-part OVA trilogy. Now, I mentioned this before, but 3-part and trilogy is redundant. You could have just put complete uncut OVA trilogy, because 3-part is implied with trilogy. Then down here, it has it in both Japanese and English with the title, and then it says, based on a comic series by Go Nagai. We look at the spine, there's a picture of Jack up here, it has Violence Jack in red, and it tells the title of every episode of the OVAs right here. Then at the bottom, we have Hello Kitty burning at the stake, which I did mention before, but I still find it amusing. Then we have the 3 episodes here. We'll get to the description in a second. And then we have the Hello Kitty burning at the stake once again, and it is released by Manga Anime Cartoon DVD, which is not a real company. Here we have the disc. It has similar artwork to the case, has it in Japanese and English, says complete 3-part OVA trilogy, and has the episodes listed up there. Now here we have the official release by Discotek Media. As you can see, it has a very similar design on the case, however the cropping and size of the picture is a little bit different. In addition to that, we have a little skull down here next to where it says Violence Jack, which was not on the other one. Plus, the font and color of the text is different. Not to mention, this only has the title in English. There's the back of the case, Kill or Be Killed. Again, we will get to the description in a moment. There's some pictures from the actual OVA itself. And as you can see, this one is released by Discotech and Eastern Star, which I think is the same thing, essentially. I think Eastern Star is a division of Discotech, or vice versa. Now there's the disc itself. It says Complete OVA Collection, shows a picture of Jack himself, which I believe this design is taken from a UK release, actually, and they, I believe it was on the box of a UK one, and they just used it on the disc of the US one here. Alright, here we have the menu for the bootleg. As you can see, it says audio and subtitles. Then it has the episodes listed Slum King, Evil Town, and Hell's Wind. It's ironic because it's listed as Harlem Bomber on both the case and the disc, but here it does Slum King. Now I showed this before, but we're gonna go ahead and go into the audio, and we're gonna select the English dub with no subtitles, right? English audio, no subtitles. That is what we have selected. We're gonna actually try to play Evil Town. And the total runtime for it is 2 hours, 22 minutes. This does remove the credits, so there will be a discrepancy for that. As you can see, that is not English audio. This is very clearly Japanese audio. So, the English dub is actually a fake option. The no subtitles actually worked this time, which is weird because last time it didn't, but maybe that just is for Harem Bomber. Anyway, as you can see, the English dub is a lie on this version. Alright, so here we start with the Eastern Star logo. And here's the menu. It says Harlem Bomber, Evil Town, Hell's Wind. And as you see at the bottom, it says Deleted Scenes, Gallery, English Dialogue, and Japanese with English subtitles. So let's go ahead and hit play all. Let's see what the runtime is first off. Some people say that this is missing scenes. It's not. The scenes are still pixelated in this version of Evil Town. However, we'll get to that in a moment. And by get to that, I don't mean we're going to show them, because I do not want a community guideline strike. But here's the gallery. I can literally only show the first picture, because the one immediately after it, I can't show on YouTube. So that's all you're going to see in the gallery. Here's the deleted scenes. And again, I am not going to be able to actually show the scenes. But as you can see, these scenes are taken from the Hong Kong VCD release. And what it is these are actually the unpixelated scenes. So the scenes are still intact in the actual full-length version on here, but these are the unpixelated version taken from the Hong Kong VCD. Now, the reason these are a separate feature is because the quality is severely lower than the actual quality on the episode. And in addition to showing these, they actually also show the censored versions from the VHS release. So they have all three versions of Evil Town essentially on here, just only one in its entirety, but you get to see the differences between the three. One other thing I do want to point out is the dub is not a lie here. It's set to the dub right now. And if you listen to this, as you can see, this is actually English.
Look at them. I'll make these little bitches sorry once we've rounded them up.
And the thing that's kind of cool about the dub is, similar to the Devilman dub, this dub is so bad it's good. So I do recommend watching both versions. Now on to the descriptions on the backs of the cases. We're going to start with a bootleg, however I do want to warn you that this bootleg does actually contain spoilers on the back of the case for not only the Violence Jack manga, but also for the Devilman manga. It doesn't actually really have spoilers for the OVAs themselves, which is kind of ironic, but it does have spoilers for the manga as well as Devilman. Alright, so here's how the description goes. Violence Jack can be considered a sequel of Devilman. The world was destroyed in the battle between Devilman and Satan. Satan was saddened after having killed Devilman. He decided that the world should not have ended that way, and created the world of before the apocalypse. He then turned himself into the most vile of creatures, a mute and limbless wretch, and created the Slum King to torment him. Half man, half giant, Jack is large and incredibly strong, and wields a large jackknife. Jack scours the underworld, and lends his strength to good causes, protecting the weak and bringing justice to the post-apocalyptic world. And then at the end it says, Jack the Giant Killer by Arthur Rackham. The fuck does Jack the Giant Killer by Arthur Rackham have anything to do with Violence Jack? I mentioned that before in the last couple of videos I've talked about this, but I still don't fucking get it. Alright, now onto the official one. After a devastating natural disaster, the Kanto region in Japan is now a wasteland of lawlessness, where the weak are playthings of the strong. Ruled with an iron fist by the Slum King, the people of Kanto have no hope left to them. Living at the whims of raiders and bandits, in this hellish world, there is only one man with the power to stand up for the powerless. And his name alone strikes terror into evil hearts. Violence Jack. Whether he's saving women from sex camps, protecting the models of Zone C from those who covet their beauty, or exterminating a biker gang bent on destruction. If you oppose the weak, the only thing you can look forward to is a swift death from Jack's knife. Acclaimed artist and author Go Nagai is famous for pushing the boundaries of animation in Japan, and Violent Jack lives up to that reputation. Bloody, violent, and with graphic depictions of cannibalism, sex, and other adult themes, it is by no means for kids. Experience the guts and gore of Nagai's original vision with the 3 original video animation episodes found in this box set, uncut on DVD in America for the first time. Alright, now, that one is obviously a lot more accurate to what the OVAs are about. There is one thing that I do think is kind of misleading. They say it's all Go Nagai's original vision, but there's kind of 2 things wrong with that. Number 1, Go Nagai himself actually hates the OVAs. I personally fucking love them, but he thinks that they didn't do his series justice, and I definitely do agree. Like, when you look at the manga compared to the OVAs, it's a night and day difference. That being said, I think Evil Town is a fantastic adaptation, and I'd say after rewatching it a few times leading up to this video, I think it holds up the best out of the 3. I had initially said that Hell's Wind was my favorite, and I still love Hell's Wind, but I think Evil Town is a lot more interesting because there's just a lot more going on and there's a lot more action. And there's actually a few interesting changes from Evil Town in the manga as compared to the anime. For instance, that part where Mad Saurus turns into like a demon-type creature. That doesn't happen in the manga, but interestingly enough, in the manga, all of the other people turn into demons, the rapists, they turn into demons, but not in the OVA, so there's some slight differences there, but overall, Evil Town is actually pretty faithful, as is Hell's Wind. Hell's Wind shortens it a lot and cuts out a little bit, but it's actually also fairly accurate. The second thing that's a problem with it claiming to be Nagai's original work is Harem Bomber was completely made up for the OVAs. None of it happens in the manga, other than that beginning fight with Slum King could possibly be an adaptation from the Slums of Kanto arc, but even then, that initial fight is portrayed very differently in the manga than it is in the anime. And again, other than that, Harem Bomber has absolutely nothing to do with the manga. That being said, that description is still fairly apt. So there's the 2 side by side. There is one other thing I do want to note, though. I had at one point said that Evil Town was more explicit in the OVAs than it is in the manga. Since I have now read Volume 5 of the manga, I actually do not agree with that statement. See, the uncensored scenes on this are actually pretty tame. Like, they're still fucked up as all hell, but as far as, like, what is shown and what isn't shown, they're not as graphic as, like, a hentai would be. I wouldn't even really call this a hentai, which some people might. It kind of borderlines it, but it's actually really tame for some of the sex scenes. Like, the subject matter is fucked up as hell, and those aren't tame. They're graphic and brutal. The actual depiction, like the actual, like, unblurred images are actually really fucking tame. Whereas in the manga, having seen the part where Blue gets killed, the manga is much more explicit and shows pretty much everything. But it is without question, obviously, that Evil Town is still the most fucked up of the OVAs. Anyway, this has been Fugitive Red Eye, and I promise this is the last time I'm going to be talking about this DVD set. I just wanted to show the Discotheque release compared to it, because I had mentioned before I do have it, and I want people to see the difference between the 2 different releases. This one is the bootleg, this one's the official. Anyway, I'm Fugitive Red Eye, and you have a great day.
Subscribe to Fugitive Red Eye.